Hey guys, welcome to the YesUsers Podcast. Today we have an extraordinary guest who is reshaping the world of digital marketing and SEO. He is a Forbes Select 200 honoree, a celebrated TEDx and Brighton SEO speaker, and the brilliant mind behind ThatWare, a pioneering SEO company. With expertise in NLP, AI-driven SEO, and a track record that includes more than 7,000 successful projects, he is a true leader in the tech industry. Let us dive into the future of digital marketing with the one and only Dr. Tuhin Banik. So, Dr. Banik, welcome to YesUsers Podcast. How are
Yes,
you?
yes, I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm also doing well. So, Dr. Banik, can you share with us what inspired you to start ThatWare and focus on AI-driven SEO?
Yeah, so the thing was that almost 8 years back, I used to work physically on various MNCs in UK and US, and to my surprise, what I saw was that those agencies used to charge multi-million dollars from like giant corporates or contractors for very less amount of work, and even the work was not innovative enough. So things was very much reactive. It was not going into a proactive direction. Things were very much generic and all. So since I already have a bachelor's on engineering and robotics, and also I have my master's in natural language processing, which is one of the parts in AI. So I felt that the future of digital marketing would be something related to AI, because with each time passing by, more and more websites would be coming into the crowd, and any platform like Google or social media, like if I talk about social media, like the Facebook and all. So these all platforms would be dependent on AI algorithms in near future to predict or provide enough exposure. So this is where I felt that like something should change, and that is where I have reinvented how digital marketing should perform, and I invented ThatWare. So the word ThatWare is, the full form is like, that stands for the happy, and Tuhin Happy is my nickname, and Tuhin is my name, and where I have derived from software and order. So my synergy was, or you can say my intention was that just like today we are recording a podcast. So you are using like an hardware, and also you're using this meeting platform as a software. So if you want to prevail in the online industry, just like you need a hardware and a software, so you would be needing a ThatWare as well. So this is how ThatWare got into the field. Like I first launched this in 2017 unofficially, and then from there gradually over the last almost seven years time frame. So today we are a team of near about 185 people in house. We have 3 offices. Actually, we have 4 offices. My fourth office is in Dubai, but that's getting ready. So that's we are just doing some immigrational works and all. But we, as of now, we have 3 offices, and we are planning to touch 250 resources by almost end of this year. So that's where we are today.
That's very interesting and happy to hear about the progress. I also wanted to understand, what is the difference between a normal SEO and an AI-driven SEO or AI-powered SEO?
Yep. So the thing is, like, I'll actually explain you in a layman way. Well, so the basic difference is that with the help of AI, you can actually understand the user behavior. You can measure all the user related point. For example, like I'll give you an example. For example, like if I tell you to write an essay about like your pet dog. So for example, and also I tell your friend to write a similar essay about like dog. Now, if I become the judge, and if I is to measure whose essay is more relevant. Now, what normal essay would be doing is like they would be just checking the keywords, how many times the keywords are appearing. They would just check manually. The thing is that this does not works like this, because like this is something which even Google does not even work that way. So tech companies like Google or Facebook, they uses natural language processors, they use machine learning, they use information retrieval to even understand and get a score out of that whose essay would be more relevant in terms of lot of vector signaling, lot of topic clustering. So this is what AI-driven SEO is. Now, when we enter into the vast field of the advanced SEO, then we use a lot of advanced algorithms. We use a lot of amplifiers, a lot of classifiers from the natural language processors, and we also use a lot of custom build codes to do a lot of things fast scale. For example, like we use a lot of algorithms to understand the user behavior, study how the users are interacting with your campaign, get a proper data set out of that, study all the data points, make a proper conclusion out from that, and in return, we can use those data points to come to a proper analytical point, and then we use those synopses to make a proper optimization framework for a particular campaign. This is one of the biggest difference between AI versus normal SEO, because the point is quite simple, Avinash. Like today you are having your website, I'm having my website. Your website is having a good content, similar. Mine website is also having a good content. Now, what if we both are competitors? So you are having a good website, I'm also having a good website. You are having a good content, I'm also having a good content. So it would be the most little bit of things that will really matter. And those little bit of thing is what we technically call as a large language model, where search engines like Google would be understanding a very fraction or minuscule amount of parameters to judge who would be the right fit to show up higher in terms of ranking in the search engines. And this entire process is known as semantic search or semantic engineering, which is something known as the future of SEO or the next generation SEO. And this will be totally controlled with the help of artificial intelligence and information retrieval. And this is the biggest difference about the novel and the AI.
Very interesting. So with over a decade of experience in SEO, what are some of the most significant changes you have observed in the industry?
So the most significant changes, in short, I'll tell you, is that people should understand the sentiment and the intent of the user, because like a lot of time, if you're typing a query, so it used to happen long back with Nokia. So this is one of the another reason why today Apple is famous than Nokia. So the thing was that some brands are there who does not focus on the right intent of the keywords or the right intent for the user. For example, if you want to buy a mobile phone under 10,000, and if you're searching like, I want a mobile phone under 10,000 rupees, and then if you see a result that shows nowhere to the 10,000 range, maybe it shows you either very cheaper, or maybe it shows you either very expensive, or even it might be a fact that it does not even give you the ideal thing. You are looking for a mobile phone, it's showing you some other accessories. So this means that you are not being targeted to the rightful amount of page, and this means that your intent is not being satisfied. So the entire paradigm shift which I have faced is that businesses who actually focuses on solving and satisfying the user intent, they actually are the ultimate winners on this search engine. And this is one of the biggest shift. Now this itself has a lot of other phases, like the voice search optimization, the augmented reality. So augmented, like the AR, optimizing for AR would be the next big thing, like the Google Lens or Apple Lens or like Vision Pro or something like that. So these are the things which are the future of things on how people would be looking and navigating through their, like you can say, to with their atmosphere and their ecosystem around them. So this would be one of the biggest change or shift, I must say, which I have been seeing since last 7 years now.
Very interesting. So can you tell us that you and your team has contributed over 7,000 projects? What are some of the biggest challenges you faced during these projects, and how did you overcome them?
So the thing was that actually those 7,000 campaigns, we have not faced challenges initially, like in the later point of our time when we had a solid proof of concept in the marketplace. But yes, during our initial days, we had a lot of challenge in first blending AI into the digital marketing, because I'm talking about almost 8 years back in 2015, 16 or 17, when people did not even know what AI was. In fact, half of the universities or colleges, in fact, was unaware about the basic practicalities of the AI. Yes, like in theory, everyone knew what AI was. Like people used to think that like driving a driverless car or like sending a rocket in the space, that is an AI, but in reality, that was not. So the thing was that when initially we used to land any client, so we used to work for very cheaper prices, because people was not confident on the technology that we were bringing onto the table, because that was the technology which was not existing previously. There were no white papers, there were no resources also for the same. So people were quite like reluctant into testing the thing. So we did various things for trial, for free trials, or even for like we do not used to charge for upfront during our initial days. And yes, we faced a lot of challenges, because a lot of clients are there who just used to take us for granted. Like they used to do 1 month of free work and they used to skip us. So, but things got changed when gradually Google, like back in 2019, Google have officially claimed that the future of SEO would be with semantic, because understanding the algorithms, understanding the user psychology, and or measuring the user's behavior would be the next big thing. And this is when, and even we do have our own patent as well. So we do have our own nature of branding. So that represents in more than 30 countries in a year for various technological conferences or keynote presentation. And apart from that, in the last year, we have been labeled as a Forbes 200 companies with a global business potential and all. I have been on TEDx as well. So with each years passing by, we have made a market capture. And then now it is quite easy because we do have the proof of concept with us. We are one of the first ever players in this particular field. And like, as you know, like the first comers always have a benefit. So right now we are, you can say, yes, we are having some extra benefit. But yes, during our initial days, it took a hell lot of pain to like make the people understand and make them aware that what is this new technology is. So this is pretty much of the scenario.
Yeah, very interesting. So you talked about the patented technology ThatWare has. So tell us a little bit about that.
So ThatWare have a SaaS application. The name is WebTool, WebTool.co. So WebTool is one of the, you can say, a SaaS application underneath ThatWare. So we hired a lot of the top-notch AI engineers across the top-notch colleges from India back in 2019, and it took us almost 2 years to build that. So we made a patent once again in NLP. Like our thing was how some algorithms from NLP can fast process your decision-making process in the eyes of the search engines. Because the thing is that search engines are using crawler, they are using bots, which is known as spider. So we found reverse engineering ways, we found ways and mechanisms by which we can deal and tackle the spider so that they can fetch the right amount of information, they can get the useful information out of the thing, out of the frame. And most importantly, we found various DIY methods to make sure that you are well optimized and you are providing an utmost user value. Because Avinash, the thing is that in any marketing, I'm not even talking about online, but if you even go to the offline marketing field, any marketing that provides the ultimate user value or the user benefit or the ROI, they survive till long run. So that is what we have done. But we were using the technology for the same. We were not focusing on blind beliefs or any spiritual beliefs. It was a pure technological game changer. You can say game changer effort from our side. So that's what I normally did.
Very interesting. So you mentioned about your speaking gigs at TEDx and SEO. So tell us what topics in your experience resonated most with the audience.
So the thing is, like, it depends on two segments. Now, if I go to a keynote presentation where the audience is from the technical nature, then I provide them some more technical information which they have never seen. So one of the example is Brighton, because in Brighton SEO, as the name sounds like, there are more than 7,000-8,000 people from who are the best of the bestest SEO experts from all around the world. They are gathering in a single room. So you need to provide the best information out of them, something innovative which they have never seen. So in that case, I always decipher and I always provide a presentation on something new, or new trend, or new tactics, or a new technology that is prevailing in my landscape, because that would make them more curious and more more interested. However, if I look into the other side of the coin, and if I take, for example, of the TEDx, now TEDx is a global platform which has a very generic audience. Now, mostly people who are seeking motivation or inspirational, or thought processes. Now, in that case, I could not use some high-level technical words. Now, for those audiences, I just tell them that how the world is changing, how the technology is changing, and how you should adapt to the changing technology, and why this is the need of the hour. So this is the two sides of the things which I always balance depending upon which users I'm conveying my information through.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, that marketing or any kind of effort has to keep in mind what are the requirements of the users, right? Somebody who has that will ultimately well said. So I noticed that you have written a book titled AI-powered SEO Secrets. So what are some of the key takeaways that you would like readers to get from that particular blog?
So actually, the book is actually a very simple book, because that book provides an introductory or a beginner level for the marketing professionals to get a limelight into why AI would be the next big thing, and what are some of the takeaways which they can take. For example, why user intent is important, why understanding the user behavior would be the next big thing, and even focusing on AI would be a need of the hour because things are changing, algorithms are changing. In fact, as per Statista, more than 1 million websites are being live every single day, and that is only from tier one countries. Now, this list is huge because if you think in a year, in 365 days, that's near that's near about 365 million websites. Almost you can consider almost 500 million websites in a single year. Now, that is huge. Now, despite all the huge and the crowdedness of the websites, if you fall under a particular framework where your products or services have the highest competition, then you are finished. Like, you then need to be dependent on a certain technology that can help you to fast scale the thing. Else, you need to wait for years and years and years and even decades to even get into the limelight. Because the thing is quite simple. If you open a shop in the middle of a desert, then no one will come to that unless you build a brand, unless you let people know that there is a shop in the middle of the desert, and unless you trigger the curiosity that why people should come there. So for doing those things, they need a high level technology. Now, if I directly start teaching Python, or if I directly start running through the course, then people might get confused for the same. So the book contains a lot of small algorithms, very basic ones. In fact, like very basic, which even Google recommends. You can find the same from patents.google.com, and they would be the elementary entry point for any beginner or intermediate professionals to have a common understanding that what is lying beyond them.
Very interesting. So, as an SEO expert, how do you foresee the future of SEO evolving, especially with the advancements in AI and machine learning?
So I think the answer is quite simple. Like, just like I said just now, that millions of websites are being live every single day, which is near about 500 million websites almost in a single year. So that is leaving no room for exposure. So the competition is becoming more competitive. The chance of getting an edge over the competition is becoming more sophisticated, and most importantly is like there are very less amount of gaps which is available right now in the marketplace. Now, having all those scenarios in mind, it's quite evident, or I would say, like, if I use a proper business acumen, then I would say that this is quite affirmative that you should be dependent on some top-notch technologies to make sure that you are on top of the game. Because obviously, like, if you want to trend, you need some like game changer technology in your business. Like today, like if I compare any big product, like if I go to a shop and if I ask for toothpaste, it's quite common that people will just ask for Colgate. If I go to a soft drink store, people would normally ask for Coke or Coca-Cola. The reason was simple, like they have created a monopoly because the things which they does, no one other can do. So if you want to create such a monopoly thing in the technological world, then your whole ingredient is the technology space or the tech space itself. And the more you play with that, the more uniqueness or unique selling proposition you can create for your own business.
Very interesting. So, Tuhin, are you ready for the rapid fire round at AS?
Yep.
So, my first question is, what's your favorite SEO tool?
My favorite SEO tool is definitely Streaming Frog, and the reason is quite simple. That gives you the raw information without, like, you really need to be an expert to study the data, because other tools just give you a lot of theories and recommendation. And I believe that if you're really passionate about SEO, then that is a tool for you.
What is the name of the tool?
Screaming Frog, Spider. Okay. Or Screaming Frog itself.
Streaming Frog. Okay, interesting. My next question is, AI or NLP, which will have more impact on SEO?
So the thing is that actually NLP is a part of AI. Now, AI is a vast part. Even like SpaceX is launching automated rockets that even can land on its own. That is also an AI. Tesla autopilot mode is also an AI. So the thing is that NLP is a part of AI. However, the thing is that if you really want to master your skills in terms of optimizing your campaign more for the AI, then you should first learn information retrieval. Information retrieval is a chapter or is a concept that can help you to understand the basic principalities of how the Internet of Things works from an AI point of view. And then it comes the NLP, and then you can shift towards machine learning or deep learning and other things.
Oh, very interesting. One book every digital marketer should read.
So I think the first thing is what I would normally say is people should read Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely, because even though that is not a great marketing book, it's more of a psychology and marketing book. The reason is quite simple. The reason is that if you want to be a great marketer, you need to play with the psychology. The moment you master the psychology, then you can find more creative ways to nurture that process to like make more sophisticated workflow. So I think that should be the entry level book.
Absolutely. Great advice. My next question is, what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received?
The thing is, like, to be honest, like, I don't have a role model in my life, because like I'm an Aries and I'm too stubborn. So the thing is, if some people used to say like this will not work, I used to always do that only, because I always like I have the habit of proving someone wrong. So 10 years back, when people used to say that digital marketing is a different, AI is different, don't mess, so you will end up having nothing. So I proved everyone wrong who used to say. So the best piece of advice I would say is like to listen to your will. And if you have a vision, then work towards that. So and all the other things will just fall in place.
Yeah, very interesting. Next question is your go-to strategy for a quick SEO boost.
My first go-to strategy is like the very basic one, is to make sure of three things. The first thing is making sure that I am understanding the right products or the service nature of the business, because that is very important to connect with your end user. The second thing is to making sure that you are not having any kind of low-hanging fruit errors. Now, what do you mean by low-hanging fruit errors are that in this era, like in 2024 and beyond, people have become more rushy, that people kind of are forgetting what's the basic. So the thing is that you always need the basic. Like today, if you want to learn or read William Shakespeare novel, then you need to know ABCs. You need to know Latin alphabets before you can read William Shakespeare's novel or any other novel. So it works similarly. Like you need to have a good technical foundation. You need to have a basic foundation before you can elevate into something else. And the last and not the least is like do a proper comparative research or analysis, because you should always be knowing what the competitors are doing, and if you are not leaving something behind. So that is very important.
Okay, very interesting approach. My next question is, one SEO myth you would like to debunk?
Actually, this got proved recently. So Google always used to say backlinks are not the key. Just do not focus on like building or getting backlinks. So and this was prevailing almost since last 20 years now. But this recently, like this was a thing, like everyone knew that backlink was the key, but still there was no proof. But this recently got approved, I think 2 weeks back or 3 weeks back, when Google have, like one of the engineers of Google have accidentally released like more than 6,000 algorithms or parameters of what is the actual search ranking algorithms in GitHub. And later even it got trending, the news got trending in Twitter and all over the world, that one of the first parameters that Google uses to determine the success of a website is the number of backlinks. So which is kind of a funny, or you can say an irony, that like Google used to say that backlink does not work anymore, which was a myth. But the thing is that this myth is actually not a myth, but like a harsh reality.
Yeah. Now my last rapid fire question is, if SEO, what other field you will be interested in?
So I'm like, apart from SEO, actually I'm more interested in finance, because I'm a very good like advisor or decision making, or you can say like I always play with finances, like whether it be anything. So I'll not mention anything specific here because this is off the topic, but apart from SEO, if something interests me, that is Cosmos and finance, like space and finance are the two big things that which I play in my free time. And I love to experiment with funding. Even though I'm a bootstrap, I am against raising funding, and I also have a story behind that. But the thing is that managing funding, playing with the funds, and also studying astronomy or the cosmos or something like the two other things which is of my curiosity.
Yeah. So tell us about that story. Why you are against funding?
So the thing was quite simple. Like when I actually started ThatWare, during my initial phase, I reached out to not less than 400 investors just to get an investment, and that was also a basic investment. I was not even looking to raise a lot of money. The irony was like almost all the investors rejected me. 80% of them have a same statement that this is a technology which is not prevailing, so we are not comfortable. So it's quite funny that investors only look into something that is existing, and they does not welcome any single players who have something new or innovative. And particularly if someone is not from a high background in terms of education. Obviously, I do have my education, but I'm not from an IITs or some top level universities. I have education, but that is not stamped from a big university. And the rest 20% is like, you need an investor, else you'll fail, every startup fails. So there is a calculation, like almost out of 100%, 85% of the startups fails after the first 5 years, and out of those 15% also almost 14% gets dry up or have just like runs in loss for the next 7 years. And I've overcome all the phases, because currently I'm on my 8th year, and that is also more than 300% is profitable in a year YOY graph. And the best part is, like, I never raised an investment. I am resourceful. I was bootstrapped. Whatever I earn, I invest the same on my company. So I wanted to somehow prove and make a unique case study that business can be profitable and business can be a unicorn, even though I am not a unicorn at this stage, but I'm still 29. Like, I do have more time in my hands. So my vision is like, I will make a unicorn sometime in the near future, and that too without having any single investment, neither a partner, no nothing. So this is something, if it happens, I don't even know if it will happen, but if it happens, then this would be one of the greatest case study of business in history. So that is something I'm like aiming for. And this is the reason why I'm against investor at this moment, because since last 2 years, like initially I got rejected by 400, but in the last 2 years, I got approached by 400 more investors, because I have been traveling crazy all around the world. And my only answer is no, because right now I do not need investors. Like, why I need to give the stake of my company when there is no need at all.
Yeah, I like the confidence that you have, and trust me, best wishes from my end. I really hope you succeed in that. I also have tried to raise funds, and I understand the pain and understand that you are coming from. Bootstrap, I feel, doesn't get as much attention as it deserves.
Yeah.
Because if you raise funds and you don't even have a product, any newspaper in India would write about you, and that is something I feel.
So that was something which happened in the previous year. Like, I was in Forbes 200 list. The thing was that, like, the 3 of the eligibility criteria for coming in the list. The first point was, you need to have a minimum of $1 million in funding, either Series A or VC, doesn't matter. The second thing was, you need to have a cutting edge technology or a product or something like that. And the last thing is, you need to have a market presence. So even though my first point was not satisfied, I was still on the list, because out of all the companies, I was actually profitable, because 300% YOY profitable is a great amount, considering the fact that now there is 2 things. My marketing expenditure is also zero, because my business is running on organic. So my marketing expenditure is zero. Yes, very, like, once in a often, I do some small influencer marketing, very small, or I do some, yes, I go to events and all, but the events welcomes me for free, and even they give me payment. I don't treat those as a marketing, but if you ask me what I do as a marketing, so that is also zero, because my business is running on purely on an organic model. So I get more than 500 inquiries in a single month just from organic marketing itself. So my marketing budget is saved. My investment, I don't have investment. I don't have any depth in the market. So, but not any liabilities, debt, nothing. So it's whatever I'm earning, I invest a certain money to grow the company, and the rest is as I said, like, I play with funds. So, like, I'm also an investor. I have invested in a lot of foreign companies, but those are very small, big or medium, and small bits and pieces. No fancy or nothing. I cannot name any very big or small companies right now, but I have enormous portfolios. Like, rather, being in a certain state of the art where I need to raise investment, I try to help startups. Even I help startups from whom I do not even take the money at later on, because I love to help, because I always feel that what I have gone through, the startups, like startups who have similar vision like me, they should not be going through similar circumstances. So that's what one of my vision is.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Running a startup, one of the hardest things you can do. I'm really happy, Dr. Banik, that you came here, shared your story, your SEO insights.
Likewise.
And your future prospects. Trust me, it was very informational and inspirational.
Yep. No, similar for me. I think the questions are quite relevant, and I can speak out to the wider network. So it was a pleasure for me as well.
Thanks a lot. What an insightful conversation with Dr. Tuhin Banik. From groundbreaking innovations in AI-driven SEO to his inspiring journey as a digital marketing trailblazer, Tuhin's expertise is truly unmatched. Thank you for tuning in to the Yes Users podcast. Stay connected with us for more exciting episodes featuring industry leaders and innovators. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast within your network. Until next time, this is your host Avinash Tripathi signing off.